we're unwinterizing, and we got to put a new joker valve in the toilet. If your toilet, when you flush, if you got the old pump style toilets, when you flush that toilet and get all you nasty water back to the holding tank, and then you trailer it home, or you run up the river or the lake or wherever you're at, and you notice that some of that nasty funky water is coming back up in your toilet bowl, that's your joker valve. If you got the hand pump style without a macerator. If you don't know what a macerator is a thing that chops up all the waste and then sends it back to the tank. My boat don't have a macerator. And so that's what I'm looking at today. Also, over the winter, my tarps had gotten loose on the boat and got tangled around my VHF antenna and broke it. Broke the mount, broke the the wiring and everything. So I've got to put a new antenna on it. I ordered it from Amazon, and a new bracket and a couple of the other odds and ends, and then golly, wash and wax and polish this thing out again. And man, I dread it. But it is what it is. So basically, if you watched my How to Winterize a Boat last year, it's all of it in reverse. Put your freeze out plugs back in, your blue drain plugs back in. Put your bottom water pump hose back on. Put on the hose pipe, crank it up, flush them engines out. Get all that old antifreeze and mess out of there. It's biodegradable. It won't hurt animals. If you use the boat antifreeze that I showed you last fall, the pink stuff that you get at Walmart, and you ain't got to worry about it. You can actually, plug it all off and stick it in the water and fire it up. It won't hurt, it won't hurt the lakes or rivers or anything. I don't recommend it, especially if your boat's been sitting all winter. I like to have mine on a hose pipe, run it for a while, make sure get up to operating temperature, and then maybe let it run another 20 or 30 minutes. I know gas ain't cheap, but if you want to play, you got to pay. So that's what we're looking at. And now I'm going to fire up the boat, and while it's running and doing its thing, if it runs good, then I'm going to go downstairs and show y'all how to change a poopy joker valve and what it looks like. So let's go. Okay, so I got the boat running, fired up pretty easy considering it's been sitting for 6 months, and it got run very little, after I broke it in last year. So what I'm doing now is I'm checking everything, all my seals and my plugs and everything to make sure I got no leaks at all. So yeah, this is the bottom hose right here. I had took off for the winter. Of course, it ain't got warm enough to open up the thermostat yet. It's kind of whining and roaring. Almost sounds like the bearings in the water pump, and I sure hope it ain't. Hopefully it'll smooth out and quieten up. But we don't have any leaks. Everything looks good. So blue plugs are down there off. Bottom of your riser. Bottom of your riser and on your block on each side. And then you got your power steering cooler. Don't forget it. Fuel pump's kicking in. I heard it humming, building up pressure. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Water pump quieting down a little bit. I'll say job well done. Of course, I still got to put my fresh water tank back in, flush it out. It's got all that old pink antifreeze in it too. We're gonna let it run a minute and then on with the next project.
And the process of letting it run, it was heating up a little bit too much because that's a 160-degree thermostat, but it would drop back down. So the thermostat's probably just sticking. It's brand new. I put it in last year. It's probably just sticking a little bit where it's sit all winter. So I got to keep an eye on that.
Now everything's flushed good, and I'll show you on the camera. Everything's flushed out good, no more pink. And I've got an issue going on in the bathroom. I don't have a lot of water pressure. which is a little better now than it was. A little air still in that line. So I've got all this up here apart to where I can put my new wire in for the antenna. That'll be on the maybe last part of this video or the next video. Maybe just do a second video. I've got all that apart and got the old antenna out. I just cut it and pulled it out. It's gonna be a fun job though. It's a pain because I've got to get over into there. You can see to get to those screws. All right, just pull in there. So that's done. Both my blowers are still working good where I fixed them last year. So I'm happy about that. Let's go work on the stink. Yeah. Okay, here's what we got going on. A couple screwdrivers, Phillips and a flathead. I think I just need the flathead, but I can't remember. This is a joker valve, and it goes back in your line to where when the waste goes out through it, it opens up to let the waste out, but it won't let it seep back in. It's called a joker valve. Now this boat's a 99, and what fits this boat, if you've got this old hand pump style, the number for it's a J2092-1000. It's a 29092-1000 joker valve. It's a Jabsco, J-A-B-S-C-O, Jabsco, I don't know, something like that. So that's what it looks like. But that's it, that's the joker valve. So let's get in this nasty bathroom. I gotta clean again. Man, I'm sorry I keep complaining about cleaning this boat, but I've cleaned it more than I've used it. So, all right, let's get in there and get this thing fixed. I'm ready to go have some fun with it. So, yeah. Okay, well, I'm ashamed of this bathroom because of the mold and mildew that showed up over the winter months. But, you know, I've got to clean it, and I don't want to clean it and then do this and then have to clean it all over again in case something comes out of the line. So, let's see if we can get this thing apart. It don't take much to clean that up, that mold off that plastic, because it's not old mold, it's just something that happened over the winter time. There's nothing to really be fussy about. But okay, so I wiped all this off where you can see a little bit better. And just with a damp rag, it didn't take much to clean it, so it'll be a pretty easy clean as far as the bathroom. But I'm gonna put, this is Magic Lube. And it's used for swimming pools for with those little clean outs. It's got the rubber O-ring and it helps to seal it up. So I think I'm going to give this a shot because if it'll hold them high pressure swimming pools, help to hold those, I think it'll definitely work for what I'm doing. So I put some Magic Lube on it. This thing's kind of dummy proof, it looks like. And one way it can really go on. Whenever you pull your pump, it sucks it up to pull your waste into there. So, all right. So we'll put some on this side all the way around. It's a really thick, it's a petroleum jelly, but it's not oil-based. Like regular Vaseline petroleum jelly, that stuff will make your seals dry out if you use it. So that's got it coated pretty good. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some on the back side of this joker valve, just to kind of make it stick a little bit better. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. Maybe you can't, but just putting some right here around this back lip on this joker valve. But any swimming pool place will have this lube, if this lube works. If you're having this problem, leave a comment, and as soon as I put this thing in the water and check it, I'll let you know how well it sealed or didn't seal. And I think I'm going to put it flat side down. That little flat Y. I was going to put it up long ways, but this way I think it'll ride better. So, okay. Now let's put all this back together after I wipe my hands off. So I cleaned this joker valve up, and you can see some daylight through it. It should be tight, where you can't see nothing, but you can see daylight through each section of it. But I don't know if that was enough to make it seep back the way it is. Most of the time, that's the problem. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. Well, all right. That's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully that fixes my problem, because most of the time it is that joker valve. But man, my valve didn't look that bad. I mean, there was a little bit of daylight coming through, so maybe that was enough. But even the new one had just a tiny amount. So I don't know. But if you're having the same problem with your Jabco 9000, whatever that thing is, hand pump commode, just keep an eye on the next video or two, and I'll give you an update and let you know if that did or not. So now I've got to replace the trim motor, because I think 2 years ago,
the trim motor, the handle, the power trim on the thumb stuck, and I didn't realize it. And I heard something whining, but the engine and all was running, and by the time, I was doing something with the motor, or had the lid up, or I don't remember what it was now, or maybe I even had the generator running, fooling with it. But it had stuck, and I didn't realize what it was until I smelt something. I was like, uh-oh, something's burning. And that trim motor got really hot. So I know it's about done. I about burnt that one plumb up. And I've got another one, and I'm gonna swap it out, because last summer when I got through rebuilding the engine, I was running it and the trim motor was kind of sticking and it would kick the breaker. So I don't know, I'm gonna swap it out, see if that don't fix it. And I've still got to put the VHF antenna back on, but I'll probably wait on that until I get through buffing and waxing. That way I don't have that wire coming out in the way, and I can go ahead and take the bracket off and everything, and just really get in there and buff that good, that area. There's a lot of salt and sand and bird poo and everything else gets, in behind that bracket. It's kind of hard to get it out. So, yeah, there we go. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all like, subscribe, tell your mom and them all about our stinky, funky messes we do. And ring that bell. God bless you guys. Lord willing, we'll see you next week.